Start. Let me get my stuff in order. All right. Hope everyone's doing well today. Let's go straight into today's topic. Today, we're going to talk to you guys about why you guys need to stop. Okay, stop applying for credit cards. Because here's the thing: you're applying for the wrong one. So today we're going to talk about why you need to stop applying for the wrong credit cards, guys. Okay. So now let's go straight into it. What credit cards should you be applying for? Number one, anytime that you're applying for a credit card, it needs to be. It's got to make sense. Okay, the ones that you want to start off with are going to be the ones that want to do business with you. Okay. People that want to do business with you, they're going to send you stuff in the mail. Okay. So, for example, you're going to get Capital Ones in the mail, First Premier Bank, Olo, Merrick Bank. All of those are entry level credit cards. There's nothing wrong if you're getting those. Everybody's getting those, though. But here's the thing: credit card companies that send you guys things in the mail, they're going to be the ones that actually want to do business with you. Okay. They've already done a soft pull. Okay. Because think about it. Let's put ourselves in these banks' shoes. Okay. I sent you a mailer, which means I had to pay for a stamp. I had to pay for, the actual mailing piece that goes out, right? If I did all of that, right, and you're the bank, let's say if you're the bank, would you spend money on someone that you know would not qualify for what you're sending them? Again, would you spend money on sending someone information about what you're offering them, right? And they don't qualify? It doesn't make sense, right? So that's exactly why companies, when they're sending you guys credit card offers in the mail, okay, that means that they want to do business with you. They've seen enough information in the last 30 days and you're on their list. Okay. If you read it at the very bottom, not every company is going to do this, but 90% of companies are going to do what they call a pre-screen. It is not illegal for a company to do a soft pull without your permission. Let me say that again. It is not illegal for another company to do a soft pull without your permission. They want to do business with you. They want to build a relationship. Okay. I want everyone in the comments put relationship. That's what these banks are looking to do. They are looking to build a relationship with you. Okay. As they're building a relationship with you, they want to not only get you a credit card, they want to refinance your house. They may want to give you your first mortgage loan, right? And there you go, Viva. Viva said Capital One done sent me something, right? And so Capital One is always looking at the list of people and they say, okay, we're only going to send mail to these people that we know can qualify, because that's what Capital One does. They say, hey, we of course want to give you a credit card, right? We got that. But can we get a checking account out of you later down the line? Can we get a savings account out of you later down the line? Which, by the way, pause. All YouTube members, man, I just did 2 interviews. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys access to these interviews early next week before they drop. Okay. Man, y'all gonna be well ahead of the information that we got. We talked about Navy Federal, we talked about credit unions, we talked about business credit, and we talked about travel hacking. So it's some good stuff that's on the way. Okay. But you guys get access to that. But either way, I'm saying that to say that's the move that a lot of banks are making right now. They want to build a relationship with you guys. Okay. They want to build a relationship with you guys. Okay. Now, Viva just said something. She says, I got that in the mail, right? But they turned her down, right? And so here's the thing: when companies send you stuff in the mail, there's only so much they can see. They can see your credit score, right? And that's pretty much all that they can see. They can see your credit score and they can probably see how many other credit cards you have. But what are things that they cannot see? They can't see your income, right? Not saying that this is Viva's problem, right? Because it could have been anything. It could have been a relationship with the bank that she didn't even know about yet. She could have had another account after that they didn't know about yet, right? So, but they can't see your income. They can't see how long you've been on your job. They can't see your job. They can sometimes see the job, right? Because it's on your report. But remember, this is a soft pull. So they can't see much. They can only see your score. But somewhere down the line, something of what, for Aviva, for example, something of what they were looking for at the beginning probably changed. And here's another thing, too. Listen, we all get denied for things. We have all gotten denied for something. Maybe not a credit card necessarily, but we've all been denied in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't take it personal. It's going to happen to you, right? But you got to make sure you're applying for the right car. So start with who's sending you stuff in the mail. It's not a guarantee. Viva, listen, Viva just told us it's not a guarantee it's going to happen, right? But at the same time, right, at least you know that I'm going to go ahead and start with the company that wants to do business with me. They sent me something in the mail, right? They obviously want me to respond, right? And you could either fill it out old school where you send it back in, or you could obviously just scan it because now they have a QR code, or they have a link that you can just join. You put the invitation code or whatever, it picks up where you left off. It automatically fills that in. And then, of course, you just put in the information, right? Maybe they thought you made a certain amount of money. Maybe they thought that you were at your job at a certain period of time. Maybe your debt has changed, right? In between that time, maybe you already got approved for a similar card prior to, right? So it could be a lot of different factors, but that's where you guys want to start, okay? The second place that you want to start with credit cards, look at the scores that they're looking for, okay? What type of scores are most credit card companies looking for? So let's go ahead and take a peek here. I'm going to show you guys this. And I did a video on this the other day. We'll go ahead and go with balance transfer credit cards, okay? So give me a second here. I'm going to pull this up, and I'll share my screen with you guys here in a second. But we'll talk about balance credit card, balance transfer credit card. I mean, just as an example, okay? And when I show you guys this, you're gonna see that every time that you're applying for a credit card, they give you the score range that they're looking for, okay? So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let me go and pull this down. Okay, got that. You know what? Let me actually do this. It'll be easier this way. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Because I'm using this as my screen and as my other screen as well too. All right, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to go with this here. Okay, perfect. All right, so now as you guys can see, as you guys are seeing this, it shows you that the Citi Simplicity card, right? You guys can see right here, if you zoom in, it is a recommended credit score, okay? And it even breaks down what does that mean? So let's go ahead and click on that. Creditcards.com, as an example, credit ranges are variation from the FICO score 8. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. A lot of you guys you'll go to whatever platform, whether it's your credit score from your credit card company, whether it's Capital One and using CreditWise, whether it's Wallet Hub, whether it's Identity IQ, whether it's Credit Karma, whether even if it's my FICO, you got to see the FICO score 8. There's only two ways to see that score. Really one way, really one. The reason why I say two is because you don't see that score unless you get denied. Right? So the other way to see it would be to go to myfico.com. That's myfico.com, and you pay for their any one of their plans is fine. You don't even have to get a monthly plan, but I recommend that you get the $30 plan. It's monthly, but if you just want to see it and cancel it, you could do that. But this is going to show you your FICO 8 score. Why do you have to go through MyFICO to see this score? Well, number one, there's different scores for different categories. For example, if you go to the dealership and they run your credit and they say, hey, you're a 680, that is not your FICO score 8. That is not your FICO score 8. Now, some dealerships use the FICO score 8, but there's no guarantee that that's going to be the case, right? So the thing is that you're applying for the wrong credit card simply because you don't know your FICO 8 score. Now, you can have an idea of what your scores are, right? So like, for example, very rarely are you 700s somewhere else in FICO, and then you're like low 6s. That's usually not a 100-point spread by the category. However, there's most definitely going to be a spread in general because your mortgage score is looking for something different to calculate a score. Your credit card score, which is what this is, your credit card scores are looking for something different to calculate a score, right? Your auto loan score is looking for something different to calculate a score, right? So all of these categories, they're looking for something different to calculate a score. And so in order for you to see your FICO score 8, guess what you guys got to do? You got to go to myfico.com. Otherwise, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it. Okay. So once you see that score, right? And it says one of many types of credit scores lenders may use when considering your credit card application. Either way, if that FICO 8 score then says 670 or above, then you will be able to get approved for this card. Okay. Now, you're probably like, well, Calvin, what if I really want a balance transfer card as an example, right? But my score does not meet this particular requirement. Then you got to keep going down the list and seeing until you get a card that that you can have where that score is not going to be 670. Now, can you try at 650? You could. Let me say this. Have I ever seen someone get approved even though their score was lower than the recommended credit amount? Absolutely. Absolutely. Probably about 50 to 60% of the time. But obviously, it depends. If it's like 669, come on. Okay, that's not going. But again, it's not just a score. I want you guys to understand something. It's not just your score. I want you to put it in the comments. It's not just my score. It's not just my score, right? Sometimes it is, like I talked about before, right? It could easily be. It could easily be the fact that you haven't been on your job for a longer period of time, or whatever they're looking for. Every credit card company is looking for something different. Your debt to income ratio may be off. Again, there are things that they cannot see on a credit report. People with good credit get denied all the time for other things that they can't see, like income. Like, for example, a person can have a 750 credit score, but if they don't have a job and they don't have income, you're not gonna let them borrow money. Right? So, or a person that has a 750 credit score, but they only got like one line of credit, you may not trust them enough because they only have that one line of credit. And then some people think, well, you can get to the 700s with one line. You most definitely can. You most definitely can get to the 700s with one line of credit. So that's why a lot of people, that's still considered light credit. See, score gets you in the door. I'll say that again. The score will get you in the door. Okay. But once you do that, now they want to see the full application. All right. They want to see the full application, guys. So again, I'll be doing some more videos next week. Let me go and change my screen here. I'll be doing some more videos next week on like other credit cards that you guys can get for certain, score types and things of that sort. So make sure you guys go ahead and stay tuned for that. Okay. But in the meantime, again, you guys got to make sure that you guys understand that. Okay. And that's the thing. So now, Facebook says the credit profile is not just a score. I'm telling you, absolutely. It's not just a score. Eddie's in the house. What's going on, Eddie? All right. So listen, Eddie's about to be with me and other fellow 850 Club members. Okay. We are about to get their questions answered. We do a members only live once a month. Okay. Now I'm going live a lot, but at minimum, we will do one live, what is 100% only for members. Okay. And that way you can get all of your credit questions answered. Okay. Whether it's a small question, a big question, a question has to do with auto loans, credit cards, home ownership, rental property ownership, whatever you want to talk about, we're going to get those questions answered for you guys. Okay. But either way, we're about to go ahead and do that in a second. All right. But I want to make sure I gave you guys still some good game today. All right. Just in general. Okay. So number one, try your best to start with people that want to do business with you first. Okay. Those are the people that are sending you credit card offers in the mail. So that's number one. Number two, make sure that you're looking at the credit scores, the recommended credit score that these companies want before you start applying. Okay. Another thing as well, too, research or call. You can even call them and say, hey, which credit bureau do you guys use? Right? Because in one of my videos that my members will get early access to, they'll be able to see that, what we're going to start trying to make a list of this. But until that time, you are able to call the company, call customer service and say, hey, customer service, which credit bureaus do you guys look at? Not all, listen, the only time that companies look at all three is when you're going for a mortgage. If you're not going for a mortgage, they're not going to be looking at all three. Okay. So they're going to be more than likely looking at one or whatever the two is, whatever. Also, the third thing is look for credit cards that have a soft pull during the application process. That way, if you get denied, at least you got a soft pull versus a hard pull. Hope this information was helpful, guys. If you like it, go ahead and like it. If you want to share it, go ahead and share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe as we got nothing but great content on the way. But listen, me and the members, we about to go have our powwow. We're about to make sure they get all their credit questions answered so they can hit their credit goals this year. Okay, guys? So I'll see you all on the next video.